want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
We are the Mad Men of Masculinity.
Your home for healthy masculinity. We're just real men having real conversations for you. Good day, Mad Men Mafia.
I am Kirk M. Samuels.
And I am Jason B. Kendrick.
And we are the Mad Men of Masculinity.
That's right. We're just real men having real conversations for you.
That's right. We have been in the studio.
We're back in the studio, man. They let us in the door.
How long has it been?
It's been about 3-4 months.
It's been a hot minute, man.
It was October, man. It was autumn last time we have been here.
Minute. Was it?
Yeah. It was
man.
like early football season.
Man, it's been a while, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we all spruced up around here too.
I know,
man.
they've been painting. See, that's what happened was, we didn't come in the studio for a while, and they're like, hey, they're not here.
Yep.
We can put in new carpets, we can paint the walls.
All the above, man.
See, I don't know if that was related, but a part of me feels like it was.
I don't know, man. They celebrate me being grandpa.
Yeah,
you know
congratulations.
You roll different when you a grandpa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I decided I wanted to go by Ampa.
Ampa,
I'm going to
okay.
spell it Grampa because the G is silent.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That's how I'm rolling, man.
Okay.
I'm Ampa.
Hey, how's them pins going? You got those rolling?
The new what?
The depends?
Oh, man. See why you see? Dude, I'm making grandparenting sexy again.
Uh-huh.
I'm bringing sexy back to grandparenting. You know what I'm saying?
What is it? The jilt?
Something. I don't know, man. I'm bringing
guilt. That's what it is.
I'm
the
bringing
guilt.
it back, dude. I'm making it look good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. Yo, let me tell you, man. I fell in love with that little girl. I went to go meet her. Man, it was amazing.
She's so small. Those pictures, she's so tiny.
4 pounds, 3 ounces.
Wow.
She fits like right in the palm of your hand. Little itty bitty ears.
Oh, wow.
Fell in love with that girl, man. She had whatever she wants. I don't care, whatever it is.
Like, you spoiled already. You don't even know.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. She got it, man. For real. She's the boss.
She's the boss.
She is the boss. I think the family hierarchy
just shifted.
My family hierarchy goes kids, wife, husband, grandkids, then God.
Mm.
I mean, I'm telling you, dude. I mean, that's
well, now the kids are out of the house and you got the new grandbaby, so now it's probably shifted to grandbabies, then kids. No, okay.
God, grandkids, then husband, wife, then kids.
Okay, so you had to
that's my hierarchy.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
She's right up underneath the Lord.
Lord have mercy.
She's right up underneath the Lord. But I'm telling you, man, it's good stuff, man.
Well, that's congratulations. I mean, we just did that Phase of Life episode talking about that, and now it's for real. It's done deal. And now you the grandpa, man.
Hey, I sent you this clip, man.
You did.
I sent you a clip, man, and
I know that clip. I've seen it many times. I like that clip.
And I thought, this would be a good one to get them stirred up. Trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
There's definitely a trigger warning.
Time for your big girl panties.
We're gonna play this thing. But we're going to title this bad boy, Make Daddy a Sandwich.
Make Daddy a Sandwich.
You and I have something in common. You believe in a lot of cases that men and women have roles.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, you say it because people get mad when I say it.
I'm from this. Yeah, you better believe it.
I mean, I know you're from New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm only from Jersey, but I do believe that if he wants a sandwich...
You make Daddy a sandwich.
Most of the time.
No. Let me ask you this. Well, okay, let me ask you this. If me and you out and somebody say something slick to you,
you punch him in the face.
You want me to smack him in his mouth, right?
That's right.
So if I take you on a date and I say, look, baby, we gonna go Dutch.
No.
Exactly. If we walking up to the car and I don't open your car door, what do you say?
Open the door.
You better believe it.
Yeah, no, I am with you. I think
so you make Daddy a sandwich.
I think I will after I get out of the shower.
Yeah.
But it'll get done.
If I'm outside cutting that grass, bring Daddy some lemon.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Anthony Mackie dropping some truth
on the Wendy Williams show, man. I thought that clip was a trip, man. But
I love that clip because I mean it's one of those things that we have kind of got away from, just traditional gender roles and why they work. But nowadays with the feminazis and everything, it's like, don't tell me you make your own. I actually saw another clip where Lay's like, my husband's making his own food. I'm not doing nothing for him. I'm only cooking for my kids. It's like, well, good luck with that. you'd be single forever.
And again, man, I think the clip is it's one of those that stirs up the hornet's nest.
Mm-hmm.
It can make people feel some kind of way, one way or another. And I think we got a right to have a way to feel too, man.
Yeah.
We got an opinion, and mine is make daddy a sandwich. That's where I stand on the side of that equation, and just the way he put that thing, man. I think he's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's absolutely right, man. I mean, what's wrong with men? Well, and I'm gonna put it this way. I'm gonna predicate this right off the bat. Probably in another 20, 30 minutes, somebody gonna just not even miss this part of the whole conversation from my perspective. If you have a good man, that man deserves to be treated good. That's bad English, but it's good truth. If you have a good man, that man deserves to be treated good.
Yes.
And if you are a good woman and you have a good man, you will treat that man good. And I think the people, and specifically the feminazis out there that would have a problem with that, they're the ones that can't keep a man. And there's a reason you can't keep a man, because you get a good man and you don't treat him good.
Yeah, I mean, when it gets down to it, the basic principle of this is that if you want a good man, you have to be a woman so he can be a man for you. You can't be all in your masculine and then expect him to be in his masculine. That doesn't go with polarity. That doesn't go with the balance and harmony of relationship. So what we're saying is there's responsibilities in any relationship. So if you want your man to be your man and do those things, provide, protect, preside, be the leader in a home, et cetera, then there's certain responsibilities you have for him, and how do you treat him, and how you're going to keep him as your man in the house. And so that's the whole notion of make daddy a sandwich. Like, you want him to do all those things. You have some responsibilities too. Like, you get back what you put out. And I think that's the reason why so many ladies nowadays are having all these issues finding a healthy masculine man, because they're either in their masculine or they're not taking care of their man. And then he either shuts down and shuts off, or he goes and finds somebody else. I mean, that's the way. Everybody has needs. And so if you're not taking care of your partner's needs, and that goes both ways. Man, if you're not taking care of your wife's needs, if she's not taking care of your needs, you're not getting your needs taken care of. So you're probably going to go somewhere else.
This is probably the closest I'll get to it goes both ways. This is probably, I hate that phrase. I hate it with a passion. I think that phrase itself should be kicked in the mouth, because I just hate that phrase. Underneath that phrase, a lot of times the implication is it's conditional. It's an if-then kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you can't say something without there being an expectation in return. What is wrong with a good man wanting to be treated like a good man? I think that is completely okay, as much as anybody that has a problem with that statement would not have a problem with a good woman wanting and should be treated like a good woman. I mean, it's not an if-then. It's one of those, two things can be true at the same exact time. And this is one of those instances where absolutely should, and I lead with the fact that the man should be in that position, just like, Anthony Mackie talked about, something go to him, he's supposed to step in and slap a fool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you going out, he's supposed to be providing. You walk out to the door, he's supposed to be grabbing the door, et cetera, all those kinds of things. And in that scenario, again, good man, I don't think it's at all off or wrong for the good man to have some level of, I'm going to call it expectation of being treated like a good man.
Yeah, every man wants to be treated with respect. Every man wants to be, have someone who cooks or cleans or takes care of the things. And that's the thing too, is like we had the comment from Seeing Red, my man cooks, I clean. That is a harmonious relationship. You both have responsibilities and you're both giving to the relationship. And so you decide how it looks. But in general, and these are very much generalities, everybody, we keep getting the ladies like, well, let's talk about the exception. No, we're talking about the generalities of masculine and feminine. If he is doing his job as a man, you should be doing your job as a woman in the relationship, whatever that looks like, and you guys decide. So that means he wants you to make him a sandwich or bring him lemonade when he's out cutting grass, or, work on the roof or whatever, then that's how you provide. This whole notion of entitlement that a lot of the newer generation has about, I should get all this without having to give anything, is part of the problem that marriages and relationships are falling by the wayside and struggling so much, because you have to be in a sense of service. You have to be in a mindset of service in your relationship. And that may look different in everybody's relationship. But if you're not in a mindset of service, like I'm here to serve my man, or as a man, I'm here to serve my woman, then it's going to fail. And you're both going to be fighting and bickering over the scraps because you're not both bringing in 100% of yourself into the relationship.
And it's not a if then. I'm thinking of another clip I saw. It was actually posted by a female, and the clip was from a woman's perspective, and it was, if you want a feminine, blah blah blah, this and that, all these different attributes in a woman, then you should be whatever. Again, I hate those if then kind of things, because normally that if then goes in one direction. It never goes in the other direction. It's like, if you want me to respect you, you got to be respectable. Really? So if you want me to love you, you got to be lovable. See, a lot of these things, clash when the coin gets flipped over. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with a good man wanting to be treated good, especially in a world where good men are often overlooked. Good men are often underappreciated or not appreciated until they're gone. A good man will find himself in the friend zone faster than anything. A good man will find himself just giving and giving and giving, pouring out, and then finding himself with an empty cup, and he has to go find a way to make it happen. I mean, so I don't think there's anything wrong with a good man saying, "Hey, I have a cup as well."
Yeah, I mean, that's just comes down to what are you willing to give for what you want. And so much of what we see now is, like you were saying, if then. I will be this if he does this. Like, you want him to act like husband material, but you're not willing to act like wifey material, or vice versa. You're acting like wifey material, but he's not acting like husband material. And then you're supposed to, wait for him to go, okay, well, I will wife you up, and then now you can become, wifey material. Like, no, it's an audition. You're dating. You got to show him what you're bringing to the table. He's got to show you what he's bringing to the table. And then you decide how this relationship is going to work, how it's going to harmonize, and how you're going to come together to make it a team and a cohesive unit. But when this entitlement thing goes, oh, well, I'll do this if he does that, or I'll do this if he does that, or if he expects me to make him a sandwich, then he needs to kick rocks. Well, good luck with that. That's why you're single.
So we coming right out of the gate with this bad boy, man. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, you can like it or not, you can agree or disagree. That's your prerogative. But this is our opinion. So now that we coming right out of the gate, we're gonna break this thing down and maybe get, go down some of the side roads to this whole conversation, and unpack this thing over the next.
Yeah, we're gonna dive down some rabbit holes. We're gonna tick some of y'all off. We're gonna make some of y'all say hallelujah. We're just gonna do our thing, and you can jump on the bandwagon with us or not. Hey,
speaking of which, we're gonna take us a break here. We'll be right back with Mad Men of Masculinity on KLDC 1220 AM. Nice.
Tanner, you want me to send you that clip so you can add it in, the audio? Okay.
Were you able to, you couldn't hear it, could you? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good thing is, since we were watching it, it should be pretty much the exact same time as far as the blank that you heard.
He was on the Wendy Williams show, and she was like, I believe in traditional relationships. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. If you want your man to take care of you, and if somebody's talking slick to you, punch him in the mouth, then make daddy a sandwich. Yeah. No, it's been out for years. You've probably seen it. Oh, yeah. I love him.
But I mean, the way he broke it down is like, hey, if these are the expectations that you have,
yeah,
what's wrong with the expectations that we have on this side, of course?
Anyway. Mutual expectation.
All right, let's blast through this thing.
All right.
I got my stopwatch now.
Check you out. Look at this guy.
All right, here we go. We're back.
Yes, we're back.
Mad Men of Masculinity. KLDC 1220 AM in the Mile High City, on the interwebs, everywhere. MadmenRadio.com. Shout out Crawford Broadcasting, man. Not only
thank you for letting us in the
other
house again.
Cities around the country. Shout out Tanner, man, the producer #1, man, our guy, man. Even though he said he's not watching NFL football no more.
And see, he's
You know what's funny?
He's wising up.
If you look just like the Chargers quarterback, Justin Herbert. Anybody ever tell you that? Seriously, pull up his picture, man. Justin Herbert. Yeah, I saw him the other day. I was like, dude, he looks like Tanner, man. Just tell people you're like Justin Herbert. You know. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. No, man. You look like that. You should check it out. So anyhow, but yeah, Tanner said he's not watching the Super Bowl or that. But that's all right. We won't hold that against him. We talk about Make Daddy a Sandwich.
Make Daddy a Sandwich.
This video clip, and we're gonna play it at the beginning of the next segment for all you public school kids that came in late. You know, you Breakfast Club detention kids that came in late, and I think we're gonna play it again. That little clip. It's from the Wendy Williams show, and it's Anthony Mackie, and they were talking about. They framed it kind of in gender roles, but at the same time, he broke it down. Make Daddy a sandwich. I mean, he was pretty bold with it, and we pretty bold with it too, man. And a lot of times in this culture, the big hurdle to this whole thing, I think, is twofold. One is us being good men. Like, it's imperative for us, and I think we are. I believe that we are, as a collective body of men, getting back to the point where we're making manhood what it should be, masculinity what it should be, and a lot of that is coming from places that we don't know. Like we're having to figure this thing out. Most of us didn't have a good masculine figure in our life growing up, and so a lot of us having to figure out what masculinity is. But at the same time, we're getting back to that, and as we get back to that, we are getting back to the place where we care about that and we want to invest in that masculinity. And so as we come into that space and as we become providers and protectors and all the other things to the people in our life, particularly the women in our life, when we show up, first of all, we show up in I think when we do show up in the presence of a woman in that space, it's, they don't even a lot of times know how to handle it because it's something new. But when we do show up in that space, I think showing up like that kind of, I'm going to say commands, not he commands, but when we show up like that, the natural response should be, ooh, this is something different. I need to invest in this as a woman on the reciprocating end.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we as men nowadays, I mean, you and I talk about it quite a bit. We have to kind of figure out and retrain ourselves what masculinity is and how to be a man. And one of those things is having boundaries as a man and asking for what you want and asking for what you expect and then demanding that, because that's what we get. We hear that all the time. My man's got to be 6 feet tall, make six figures, and have six-pack abs, and blah, blah, blah. Be a 1%er. Well, good luck with that. That man is going to have a laundry list of expectations and things you need to do to be compatible with him, to be somebody that he wants to be with. And so men nowadays, we need to start doing that ourselves to not only protect ourselves, but to make sure we're receiving what we need in our relationships with our partners, because so many of us, especially from nice guy syndrome, just kind of took what we could get and then paid the price for that because we didn't set a foundation. We didn't set a boundaries. We didn't set any sort of expectations for the relationship. We were just happy we got one. And then we ended up paying the price because we didn't say, hey, this is what I need from you in the relationship. We heard all the time, this is what you need to do for me. What have you done for me lately? We didn't say, okay, well, I'll do that for you. And here's what I expect. And here's what I need so that we can have a balanced, healthy, harmonious relationship.
I was talking about this thing, I was talking about this at home, the whole idea of, of a woman saying, I want a man that's taller than me. I want a man that makes a certain income. I want a man that looks a certain way physically. And as we frame it, 6 feet, 6 figures, six-pack.
Sixes.
We were talking about that. And the more I think about it, I can't really hate on a woman if that is her desire, if that's what she wants. If a woman wants a man that's taller than her because it makes her feel a certain way when she can wear heels and him not be shorter than her. If that's your jam, okay, cool. I mean, I can't hate on you. I mean, there's a lot of men that like women shorter than them, If there's a woman that wants a man that has the ability to provide some things, I can't be mad at you. I mean, shortly after I got married, my wife was physically unable to go to work. And we were talking about this. Had we not gotten married, she'd probably be homeless or living back in Nebraska with her family. And so to have a man that is able to carry some of the financial weight, I'm not mad at you. To desire a man that is physically in shape, I'm not mad at you. I mean, again, on the flip side, in terms of the providing, I don't want a woman that's financial dead weight. I don't want a woman that comes in and not only does she not work, but she can't contribute or in any kind of way or nothing like that. And I do have a physical preference in terms of women. And so I can't be mad at her with that. If that's your standard, then cool. But guess what? First of all, understand the percentages of all that you're asking for. And same thing from guys, if you want, when you put all the expectations of here's what I desire and all that kind of stuff, understand the percentages. But at the same time, when you get that, or when a good man shows up, and if you can't recognize him, then you're the woman that can get a man, but you can't keep a man. And then you say, where are all the good men? They're probably in your past.
Yeah, or they're probably just avoiding you like the plague, because what they see is a whole lot of entitlement, and a lot of what we have been told for the last 20, 30 years is, women have preferences and they have expectations. However, when we as men say, these are my preferences and my expectations, we're misogynistic and we were women haters and this and that. And you know what? If that's how you want to be, you're the ones that are going to end up single anyway, because that's how relationships are. You're both going to have preferences. You're both going to have expectations, and you both have things you need from your partner. So these are things that I don't know why it's such a, the people give you that side eye and look at you crazy when you say, hey, this is my expectation. Like, you expect me to open the door for you and pay for dinner. I expect you to be feminine and nurturing and compassionate. And, when I come home from work, after I've been out slaying dragons all day and, dealing with whatever I got to do with, give me a second to relax, help me to relax, help me to shift gears, welcome me home, make me feel like I'm like the king of my castle, like make me feel like I want to come home. So many times, so many men nowadays, they have to stop in the driveway or down the street or go to the bar to recalibrate, to shift gears from work to home, because they're going from one battlefield to the next battlefield. And that's why we're doing episodes like this. So that when a man asks for a sandwich, that's not a huge ask. That's just him asking for what he needs in the relationship. And if you can't do that, you don't deserve a good man.
And I totally agree with you. Sometimes I think you're a hater.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think, I mean, I'm like,
sometimes I be hating. That's just the way it is.
And at the same time, I think, man, like what you just said is spot on. I mean, man, I love being home. I love being around my wife. I love coming home. And I came home from a business trip. I had a poster on the front door of my house that she had hand drawn up with a Sharpie and all, welcoming me home. And I mean, neighbors seeing and all this other kind of neighbors texting me about, whatever. I mean, and I love that feeling, man. And I don't desire to be going out and spending. I mean, I still do go out and hang out with the guys. That's for me to sharpen my blade so I can go home and still be the man. But man, I love being home. And so, and you think about it, Anthony Mackie is probably not worried about finding a woman. He's freaking Captain America, right? I mean, a brother is Captain America in the Marvel universe. I mean, and so he has choices, right? Yeah. And so for him to say that, he's speaking from a position of a man with choices, and a good man should be a man with choices. And for sure, he should not put up with a low bar in terms of when he shows up in all the ways that he should show up. He should have an expectation of okay, here's, a price of gold is worth this much. Nvidia is, the stock is worth this much. I mean, here's the value. And when he has value, he should kind of, to some degree, expected to be treated commensurate to his value.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing that we're seeing, the disproportionate expectations versus what you're willing to reciprocate and bring to the table. And so what we're saying is there's nothing wrong with your preferences and what you want. Are you willing to pay that price? Because if you're part of the hypergamous nation and you want the top 1%er who's 6 foot tall, 6 figures, et cetera, they're going to have expectations and boundaries, and they're going to have certain things that they want a certain way, and they're going to have needs that they want a certain way. And if you're not willing to provide those things, and this is one of those cases where it does go both ways. Ladies, if you're a high value woman and you have you're feminine and nurturing and you have all the qualities a man would want, you have certain expectations. Why should he not have certain expectations and needs as well? It goes both ways when it comes to relationships and harmony and how to create healthy boundaries and how we nurture each other and provide for each other. I mean, you should be each other's cheerleader. I mean, you should be wanting to write posters and welcome home signs for your partner when they come home. You should be wanting to make it a peaceful, loving, nurturing, compassionate place for them to come home to, not another war zone. And so what we're saying is making daddy a sandwich isn't a bad thing. It's actually something you probably should want to do.
Because when daddy got a sandwich, he ain't got to go get a sandwich nowhere else.
That's right. See? Oh, see?
When daddy's stomach is full, he don't have to go get it filled nowhere else. When his cup is overflowing, he ain't at the bar trying to fill up a cup. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
preach it back.
When he's getting the I'm trying to keep this
PC. Come on,
Crawford.
Yeah, we're back on the radio.
I'm trying to keep this Crawford. You know, we got new carpet, new paint, and everything.
Yeah, keep it nice. Keep it nice.
Keep it clean. Mess it up, but you know, he don't got to be places throwing dollars on the stage when he got his at home that's worth his money coming out of his pocket to them.
Wow.
I'm just gonna put it that way.
Just saying.
But so you know, making daddy a sandwich is not a bad thing, especially when daddy is bringing home the bacon. If he's bringing home the bacon, he just saying, put it on some bread for me, baby.
Cook it up, put it on some bread. Maybe a little lettuce, tomato, a little mayo, make a little BLT. Come on.
How about you toast the bread a little bit too? You need a little toast.
Come on now.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Make daddy a sandwich.
See, you want him cooking in the bedroom. You want him bringing home the bacon. You want him providing and presiding and protecting. Make daddy a sandwich.
And the cool part is, the more he does, the less you have to do. You don't want to pump gas. You don't want to take out the trash. You don't want to kill the spider. You don't want to do none of that. You don't want to go get that snake that's going in the backyard. But you know, when daddy got his stomach full with his sandwich, he'll go do all that. He'll slay the dragon for you that you don't have to slay. The one that you don't want to fight, he'll go fight it for you. All he's saying is, make daddy a sandwich.
Yeah, and you know what? And here's the other caveat. Take care of your partner. Take care of your man. If he's got to ask you for a sandwich every time, it's just like when you got to ask him every time. Yeah. Don't make him ask you for a sandwich every time. Make that a sandwich.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Make it with some love.
Ain't nothing wrong with a quick break.
Quick break.
We'll be right back. Mad Men and Masculinity on KLDC. Boom. Bringing it today, man.
Bring it. He's on fire.
I mean, I'm wondering, man, if anybody's watching this bad boy, who got some comments? Ooh, somebody seen red said, my husband cooks and I clean.
That's right.
I likes that. You know what I'm saying? I cook too. I cook and clean at home, all that kind of stuff too. I get it. You got a good man. Take care of that man. Every now and then, make him a sandwich or make him a sandwich.
You know, so there's between the bread and there's between the sheep.
Take care of that man. You know what I'm saying?
Take care of that man.
Whatever he needs. You know, we all need different stuff. Whatever he needs. Give him that affirmation. You know, let him know you put him on blast on social media. Tell him what he's talking about and then you comment. I love when a woman does that. When she hypes up her man, when she builds up her man. I love that. Oh man. See, this is good stuff for the air, man. See, here we go.
Let's do it again. And we're back.
Make daddy a sandwich.
Make him that sandwich. Give him that pickle.
Making a sandwich. Somebody put a comment on here, seeing red. I love this. My husband cooks and I clean. I love that whole thing because to me that says partnership. To me that says we're in this together. To me that says, you know, you hook them, I'll clean them and fry them. I mean, to me that says, you know, Maverick and Goose, whatever, Bonnie and Clyde, all that kind of stuff. I love that. And I love the fact that this person, I assume it's a she, I don't know, but somebody's saying, I love when people, when somebody is not afraid to lift their husband up and affirm their husband publicly. I mean, so many men, so many husbands just I mean, crave that, man. And just to be acknowledged, just to be all that kind of stuff. And I think that's beautiful. Whoever you are, chef's kiss.
Yes.
Sprinkle some flavor on that because you got it.
Yeah, I love the fact that, you know, with all of the media influence of, you know, you see it started The Simpsons, it started back in the 80s where these bumbling husbands and, you know, the wives are the brains of the family, stuff like that, and they've been putting men down for all these years. To see somebody go, no, he cooks, I clean. We're a partner. We're a team. I put him on blast in a good way. I promote him. I'm his cheerleader. He's my cheerleader. We're promoting each other. That's what a relationship is. That's what Make Daddy Sandwiches. Because I tell you what, you want him to cook and clean. You want him to clean out the gutters. You want him to take care of things. You want him to get up in the middle of the night when you hear a noise, go down there and chase away the burglars or this and that, protect you in the house. Make Daddy a sandwich. Dude, it's a give and take.
I promise that we would show the video clip again.
Oh, yeah, we did.
We're going to show the video. Exactly what we talking about, making Daddy a sandwich.
Anthony Mackie, Wendy Williams, Make Daddy a sandwich.
You and I have something in common. You believe in a lot of cases that men and women have roles.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, you say it because people get mad when I say it.
You better believe it. I'm from this. Yeah, you better believe it.
I mean, I know you're from New Orleans, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm only from Jersey,
yeah,
but I do believe that if he wants a sandwich,
you make Daddy a sandwich.
Most of the time.
No. Let me ask you this. Well, okay, let me ask you this. If me and you out and somebody say something slick to you,
you punch him in the face.
You want me to smack him in his mouth, right?
That's right.
So if I take you on a date and I say, look, baby, we gonna go Dutch.
No.
Exactly. If we walking up to the car and I don't open your car door, what do you say?
Open the door.
You better believe it.
Yeah, no, I am with you. I think
so you make Daddy a sandwich.
I think I will after I get out of the shower.
Yeah.
But it'll get done.
If I'm outside cutting that grass, bring Daddy some lemon.
You know what I find the most funny about that is like she's even got a caveat. When I get out the shower, I'll make him a sandwich. Make Daddy a sandwich.
You know what I'm saying? Or, give him a sandwich in the shower.
Hey, now we talking. There we go.
Hey. Making Daddy a sandwich is a metaphor for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But either way, man,
that's a great point, though. That's a metaphor about taking care of your partner. It's not about the sandwich. It's not about, there's no at no point are we saying barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen and that's your job. No, we're talking about taking care of each other. Yeah. This is how you love your partner. This is how you love your man. This is how you make sure he stays around so that he can take care of you. You take care of him. Yeah.
Again, I mean, men have cups and those cups get empty. And the perfect person to fill that cup is the lovely lady that's laying next to him in the bed, man. I mean, I think, when I look over, when he looks over, when he sees that, and when he knows that his needs are being thought of, when he knows that she is looking at him saying, what does he need right now? Could he be hungry? Could he be thirsty? Can I bring him a drink? Can I bring him some water? Can I do whatever while he's doing his thing? I'm not talking about scrub. I'm not talking about, about the proverbial TLC, the scrub. I'm talking about the good man that's doing his thing in this world, that's making a difference, that's working hard, that's doing his thing. That guy, he has a cup and he has needs, and I, for her to look at him and to say, wow, I can contribute to this man being a good man, a better man. That is beautiful, man. That is exactly the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and you bring up a great point. So I'm gonna go right back to you get back what you put out. Ladies, how many times do we as men hear you say, I wish he would just get it. I wish he would just anticipate. I wish he would just know what I'm thinking. I wish he would just start doing that for him and see if he doesn't reciprocate. Men are pretty simple. You show him the way, they say we're dogs for a reason. We're loyal, we're compassionate, we're loving, we're playful. Yeah, and we're trainable too. You show a man, you preemptively predict what he needs. Like, he's coming home from work. He's had a hard day at work. Get him a sandwich, get him a drink, put the kids to bed, whatever it is. Do something to take care of him. And he's like, oh, she's taking care of me. I'm going to take care of her. I'm going to make sure she does that again, because we tend to get positive reinforcement. If you do something we like and we do something you like and you reinforce that, we're going to do it again. You scratch us behind the ear, make our legs start going. We're going to do whatever it was that made you scratch behind the ear again. So little positive reinforcement, a little preemptive, like take care of your person and your partner. That's how you make a happy, healthy relationship. I mean, it's not about the act of a sandwich. It's not about just being in the kitchen or doing something that's quote unquote women's work. No, it's about taking care of. It's about preemptively looking at your partner saying, this is a human being that I love, that has needs, and I want to fulfill those needs so they don't have to do it themselves.
And when you fill that cup,
fill it up,
that cup will overflow. And when that cup overflows, then the excess of the abundance will be in the saucer, and then he is that much more equipped to then serve you. It is about service. It is absolutely about service, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, like you even said, with two people serving each other passionately. This is a tough world. There's a lot of just hate out there in the world. There's a lot of road rage. There's a lot of stuff going on the job. There's a lot of, just things that people are dealing with, a lot of struggles, a lot of just all the politics and everything else. How beautiful will it be if both of us come home or at home at the end of the day and we know that there's somebody looking out for me. There's somebody thinking about what I need, when I need it, before maybe I even realize I need it. I mean, how beautiful is that? And that's what a harmonious, just beautiful household and relationship looks like. And that is the picture perfect thing that really we all want.
Yeah, that's the epitome of 1 + 1 = 3. When you fill it, you help to fill up their cup, and they help to fill up your cup, and then your cups are overflowing. You have more for your kids, you have more for your family, you have more for the community. You are multiplying each other, especially by amplifying the good things, amplifying the love, amplifying the care and the compassion and the nurturing that we all need from each other, instead of trying to break each other down, instead of doing all the negative things, the nitpicking and talking about what they didn't do and what they didn't do. Let's have a positive mindset. I mean, let's look at it, neurologically. The reticular activating system, which we all have and we all deal with daily. Just think about when you're hungry or you need a restroom. Everything else, you're driving down the road and you're hungry or thirsty, it grays out everything else but the restaurants and the fast food places and the gas stations, the things that where it has what you need. It's the same thing with the restrooms. You really got to go. You're not going to see anything else but a place that has a bathroom. This is the same sort of thing that happens every day when we get into a negative mindset, negative cognitive bias. Well, guess what? You can consciously change your mental bias to a positive cognitive bias. You can change it to a loving cognitive bias. And you can do this at any moment of the day. Take a breath. If you're starting to go negative, or you're in traffic and somebody cuts you off and you're having road rage, take a breath, count to 10 and go, you know what? We're all out here. We're all struggling. We're dealing with the same traffic. Let me focus on what I love. Let me focus on my family. Where am I going? Am I going home from work? Guess what? I get to go home to my loving partner. I get to think about what we're creating together and how we're creating a beautiful relationship together. This is what I get to focus on versus that whatever in traffic.
I got a funny story.
Funny story. I like funny stories.
I was out at a cigar bar with our buddy
Jeff Scott Ruiz.
And we were sitting there, we were doing our cigar bar thing, cigar lounge, and I told him, man, it was getting time, it was getting pretty close to when I was ready to get out of there. And we just kind of kept, I forgot about my drink. And we just kind of kept talking, and next thing I know, I looked down at my phone and I looked up and said, Jeff, I got to go right now. And I packed up. I packed up my stuff, and he was like, man, you mean right now? I was like, yeah, Jeff, if you would have got the text I just got, you'd be out the door too.
She sent the bad signal out the window.
It was far from a nagging text. It was, oh, gotta go, man. Ooh.
That's one of those like, I love you, boy, but it's time to go.
Let's just say the sandwich was on the stove being made. That's all I'm saying. And I had to get out of there and go home. And so, yeah, I mean, again, that's the kind of scenario where, it's not a guy hanging out with his other guys like, oh man, I gotta go. The old battle axe is at home, and she's nagging me and this and that and blah blah blah. That's a scenario where it's like, no, I'd rather be there than here with you right now, my man. Me, my boy, and we out doing our thing. We hadn't had a cigar together in months and months and months, but guess what? What I just saw on my phone looks a whole lot better than what I see here in person.
Yeah, I guess business to handle. It's time to go. And you know what? He's got his woman. He knows what's up. So that's the whole point. Like, there has been such a tsunami, a flood, a storm of negativity, and it comes from news and media and social media and everything else. It's time for us to consciously, as human beings, men and women, start looking at each other with a positive, loving mindset and start saying, instead of critiquing, instead of looking at like, whether even if it's just friends or roommates or whatnot, let's start looking at each other with love. It's like, this is a human being. They're out here in the same crazy world I'm out in, dealing with the same crazy things I'm dealing with. Maybe we can preemptively deal with some of the negative things that are going on in the world. And, especially in our relationship, like, this is your person. You chose each other to have this relationship, create something loving and harmonious together. But that's the first one that you want to, poo-poo on. That's the first one you want to give the stink eye to. This first one you want to critique. And I get it. Most of us came from those families. we come from those critical families that they're hard on us and looking down on us and so critical and whatnot. And so that's what we've been trained to do. But guess what? You don't have to stay that way. You can change your clothes, you can change your mind, you can change everything else about you. You can also change how you treat your partner. And if you start thinking consciously, like, hey, I've started to have a negative thought about my partner, but this is the one I love. I mean, it goes back to the golden rule. How would you want to be treated? Treat them how you want to be treated. If you want respect and love and compassion and kindness, maybe you should give it.
Women are not the enemy, and neither are men.
Nope.
There's no need for us to see each other as the enemy. In my opinion, that's kind of similar to our political situation today. We're going to pit these people against these people when really all the people at the top are in it together, right? I mean, when they show up, they sit down next to each other and laugh and joke. We are here arguing and fighting. At home, we shouldn't be arguing and fighting at home. We should be finding a place of peace and a place to serve one another and a place to live. I mean, in a garden of service where we are both pulling out the weeds, we are both planting seeds, we are both watering the garden, because when the garden produces, we all eat, and that should be the type of environment that we have at home.
Yeah, it should be a united front, not a divided front. And so many households are divided. And so we're just saying, get united, make each other sandwiches, take care of each other. And speaking of take care of each other, we're going to take our last break. We are the Mad Men of Masculinity. This is KLDC, and we'll be right back.
Ball big. Man, I forgot all about this. It was sitting behind the thing.
Yeah, I knew that.
I've been here,
see how I'm trying to take care of my man over here?
Parched and everything.
I know it's not a sandwich, but
this ain't the nectar of what I used to call it.
Called nectar of the gods.
I used to call it something.
It was nectar of the gods or something like that.
I used to call it something. Maybe it was.
I don't remember.
It's good. I like this.
There's that passion fruit one. I like that
tropical passion fruit.
Watch out, Cat. You got passion fruit. You coming?
Sure enough. All right, let's get tapping out of here.
All right, fourth quarter.
We're back.
Yes, we're back.
Mad Men of Masculinity. Fourth quarter. Trying to bring this.
Fourth and goal, baby.
We're talking about making daddy
a sandwich.
This concept of providing and serving the other person in our culture, it's not a far stretch to give this message to men. Taking care of your lady and chauvinism and all these other. Was that right? Not chauvinism.
No, chauvinism.
No. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Chivalry.
Chivalry.
That's the word I'm looking for. All right. Chivalry. I mean, chivalry is one of those things that's preached at men. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. Look at him. He ain't walking on the curb side of the street. But look at him. He didn't, pull out a chair. He didn't open the door. All these other kind of things. We don't normally talk about the flip side of that. We don't normally talk about that whole concept from the female perspective in terms of taking care of the good man that you have in your life. So that's why we're bringing this up here today. And I think it's important for men in this conversation. It's important for men to not settle. If you're a good man, don't settle, because there is a feminazi and modern feminism agenda out there that is teaching our young women and older women, for that matter, that men don't matter, that we just don't matter, that we're just here to serve and to die. We're just here to be to be that thing. And so I think us as men, we ought to make sure that we have a standard and not settle when we find ourselves in the presence of a woman that should be reciprocating what she's receiving, and she's not able to, because that's a key. That's a hint that something is blocked. Literally, something is blocked and something is dammed up inside of her where she's not able. You're pouring and pouring and pouring into her, and if she's not able to release some of that back to you, that's a sign of a damaged woman.
Yeah, I mean, we talk so much about, guys, you got to have a group of men around you to help you be healthy and be the best man you can be. It's the same with your woman. We've got to be more discerning. And I know what happens, because it happened to me. You get the nice guy training and it's all about the ladies, and we get trained how to treat the ladies. But then at some point there was a disconnect. The ladies weren't trained how to treat men. And then we just kind of, I'll take what I can get. And then we get burned by that. And then we get a lot of, like, nowadays, 33% of men are just out, not even dating. They're not even trying to get in relationships because they don't see any point in it, because we don't get the reciprocation. We don't get a lot of ladies saying, hey, I want to make you a sandwich. Hey, I want to take care of you. Hey, I want to be X, Y, and Z to you so you can be this for me. We're not seeing that. So, like, guys, just checking out. So men, once again, it's all about you. It's incumbent upon you. If you want to have a healthy relationship, you have to have boundaries. You have to vet these ladies. You have to be demanding of, hey, I'm willing to die for you. I'm willing to take a bullet for you. I'm willing to protect you. I'm willing to provide for you, do all the things that a man does for his lady. Here's what I need from you. And then expect that and demand that, because she's going to demand what she needs from you. That's what she's been taught to do. It's time for us to do the same thing so that we can have healthy, balanced relationships.
If you're a good man,
Yeah.
all of that. If you a scrub, if you a sucker, if you a
Kick
drunk,
rocks.
if you a knucklehead, if you use and abuse women, all those kinds of things, then none of that applies. Then you deserve the bottom of the barrel. You know, you deserve the worst. Just the words I want to say, but I ain't gonna say because I'm trying to keep it clean. You deserve that. I mean, you deserve the scum that feminism has to offer. If you're that bad guy. But if you're a good guy, if you're a good man, then guess what? There are plenty of good women out here. There are women who will take care of a good man. I would say probably 50.1% of women out there don't know how to recognize and take care of a good man, because they'll tell you that. What you'll hear is all men are this, all men are this. And why do I keep ending up with guys that cheat on me? And why? That's because you don't know how to they don't know how to recognize a good man, and they keep settling going for these bad boys and guys that that do this and do that and treat them this way. They don't recognize that. They don't have the eye. But there are a lot of good women that do have the eye. And so if you haven't found her yet, just trust me. She's out there. Keep looking. Here's a good way, and I think that's a good way to end this episode. We're gonna get in the fourth quarter, start talking about some green flags to look for, some red flags to look for, gentlemen, as you're vetting ladies, as you're out in the dating world. One of the first things to do is find out about her relationship with her father. Because so many times what we see nowadays, because of the just inundation of single mother households and all the ramifications that has, a lot of ladies that are grown now didn't have the example of healthy masculinity in their life. And so they assume they don't need no man. They assume that men are just ancillary and not necessary. So if you are out dating and you are having these conversations, trying to get to know this woman, find out about her relationship with her father. If she has a great relationship with her father, she's going to be one of those ones that probably appreciates, loves masculinity, wants you to be a man so she can be a woman. And what we see so much is that they just don't have any experience. They haven't been taught what a good man is and how to recognize one and how to keep one. So this is a good way, a good tactic to find out if this is a woman that would work with you. I love this comment by, I think it's nihilistic. I don't know. I went to public school. That's a big word for me. Whoever this person is says, good girls love bad boys, but good women love good men. I like that. I'm down with that. I love that, man. That is absolutely it. You talked about what is their relationship with their father. I would say what has their relationship been with men in general? If you hear things like all men are this, or if they're really hesitant because every guy they've ever had has cheated on them, or every guy that they've ever had has been abusive in some kind of way. When you hear the pattern of the men that they've been with, and that pattern is not good men, that tells you that they're not good. Their picker is broken. That they don't know how to pick men. And if you're a good man, there's a high likelihood that she won't pick you, especially when she realizes that you're a good man. Because some of them, they see fun. They don't see the whole word is dysfunctional. They just see the fun. Yeah, and that's the thing. Those ladies, I mean, if they don't pick you, they're actually doing you a favor. Because what you'll see is in a lot of those cases, not only is it, they have this repeating pattern of these failed relationships, but then it's never their fault. They have no self-accountability. They're not going to say, and that's what we need. Everybody needs to be accountable and responsible in relationships. So if you want to be a responsible partner, you need to have a responsible partner, which means that she's going to have to be like, hey, when you're talking about their exes, you're talking about their failed relationships. If it's always about he did this and he's narcissistic and this and that and the other thing,
but it's never about, oh, well, I was young and immature and I just, didn't do this. I took some, I went to therapy and I learned where I went wrong and I grew and got better. That's okay. When she's actually doing the work and taking personal responsibility, awesome. There's a lot of ladies out there now who have learned, unfortunately, the hard way and are ready to have a good man, and they're doing the work. But what we see a lot of times is a lot of guys are getting burned and they're like, that's it, I'm out. I'm not even playing the game anymore, because we don't see the forest for the trees, and because there are a lot of times the squeaky wheels are the loudest. A lot of these, broken, traumatized women are the loudest out there. That's all we see. But when you have that, you take that opportunity to get to know somebody. These are some of the things that can help you find out. Do they take personal responsibility? Do they have good relationships in the past with men, with their father, etc.? These are the ladies that will probably make you a sandwich.
If you're a good man, you are doing your work. If you're a good man, you're working on you. You're working on just healing anything that needs to be healed. You're working on getting your poop in a group. You're working on getting your life in order. You're working on the fulfillment of who you are as a man. You're working on your purpose. You're working on all those kinds of things. You are doing the development work. You have a circle of men in your life. All these different kind of things go along with being a good man. Now, there is no finish line. Like, it's all a continuum, right? We're work in progress. But either way, you're on that journey. When you show up like that and she doesn't recognize all of those things, again, I mean, there's something wrong with the eyeballs. There's something wrong with her filter, with her picker. And so us as men, is incumbent upon us to do our work. It's incumbent upon us to start in the mirror and do your own stats. Where am I in all these different areas? And you develop all of those things for you. You develop all of those things for you so that you are a stable base. Before they build a building, the first thing they work on is the foundation, right? And so you build the foundation for the life that you want to have. And then when you show up like that, and if she doesn't recognize it, then bye, Felicia. You got to go. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the bleep out of here for real. And so these are the kind of things as us as men, especially good men, when we need to be prepared to show up in that moment and show up just like that and give her the opportunity to either see it or not. And if she doesn't see it, and she doesn't recognize that you're a unicorn in this culture, that good men are hard to find, but in terms of what they hear, but then you show up and she can't see that, then that's her problem.
Yeah, a lot of times that's why I have a group of guys around you, because I know a lot of those guys, we get head down, you get the blinders on, I'm doing my work, I'm doing my thing. Where are all the good women at? Where are the ones that are going to recognize me? A lot of times we don't see it ourselves. There might be a good woman right next to you. You don't see her because you're so traumatized, or you're so focused on being the best version of you can be. So having somebody else around you be like, hey man, you see that girl checking you out? Hey man, you see that? You see that? You see that? A lot of times we don't see those things. We get so focused. There's so many of our guys that we know we've been burned in the past. And so we're like, you know what? I'm going to the gym. I'm going to focus. I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to do my work. I'm going to make myself the best version I can be. But then you get tunnel vision and you forget to, see the forest for the trees. You forget to look up and go, oh, there's life out here. There's light. There's abundance. And so having guys around you to be like, to check you sometimes, be like, hey, pay attention. There's a good one right there. And then that's the other thing too. When you're traumatized and you've been through all that mess, a lot of times you don't, just like those women, they don't see you for the good man you are. Sometimes you don't see her for the good woman she is. You're just filtering through all your trauma, like, oh, all I see is the red flags. Sometimes having guys around you to say, no. You're not seeing her for what she is. You need to take those glasses off. You need to, look past all that so you can actually see her for the good woman she is, so that you can actually maybe create something long term.
And men around you to say, yeah, she ain't.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
You
Yeah,
need to move on.
Yeah, she got a nice butt, but you need to keep moving.
We have friends that have been in that situation too.
Yeah.
Where it's like, dude, I don't know, man. You need to keep it moving. You need to keep it pushing. A lot of times we chase the things that we shouldn't be chasing, and the
TNA we be chasing.
And sometimes we just need to move on and realize that ain't a good one.
And that's such a good point too. You want to find a woman who will make you a sandwich, take care of you, have guys around you so that they can protect you from the ones. And when you get all the nose wide open and all you see is the TNA, you got to have guys around you to check you, and have guys around to help you realize, like, there's nothing wrong with looking at you guys who are like, am I seeing, is she good? Am I seeing this right? and have them validate that, then you're like, okay, maybe it is me. Okay, yeah, we're good.
And so, ladies, when he shows up,
yes,
when he does all the things he's supposed to do, when he is a good man,
make daddy a sandwich.
That's all we saying. Make daddy a sandwich.
Make daddy a sandwich.
We are the Madmen of Masculinity. Check us out. KLDC 1220 AM in the Mile High City, madmenradio.com, Facebook, YouTube. Comment. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? You know, don't cost you nothing to like, subscribe, all those kinds of good things. You know, holler at your boys. Let us know.
If you got good men, good women in your life, share this video with them. Let them know this is how we take care of each other. This is how we keep the good vibes going.
Absolutely. And until next time, the Madmen are
out.